I burned a lot of bridges over 26 years of addiction.
It was an interesting time. I didn't care if I lived or if I died. I just went back to what I knew best, was the drugs and the streets.
Sister Anne used to come to the local jail where I was at doing my prison sentence.
And Cana Farm has brightened my life up, and it's made me change in so many ways.
If it wasn't for Cana, I'd either be dead or back in jail.
We'll sort out a day.
I'm Anne Jordan. I'm a presentation sister from the Lismore Group in Australia. I've been with Cana Communities since 1986. Since then, it's just grown exponentially. The people who come, Cana is always about asking who is in front of us and how can we respond to their need.
My name's Daryl Anderson. I now work here. I build furniture here full-time Monday to Friday. I've been coming here for the last 4 years, but I didn't speak to anybody for the first, 12 and a half months, because I was a hermit for a while when I got out of prison. I just wanted to keep out of the trouble. Billy, this is Billy. Become good friends, and yeah, he's brought me out of my shell. He's taught me to, to like things. He's been here for about a year and a half. So I'm working him out, getting him used to people. Yeah, it's just a delight, and the place itself, it's a good place. It's done a lot for a lot of people, me especially.
When I joined Cana, I joined at Sister Anne Jordan's invitation. She struck me as a person who never took no for an answer. You are bowled over by this extraordinary innate intelligence and drive and enthusiasm and energy, and it was impossible to ever say no to her.
The heart of Cana Communities will always be the love that's shared between two people. Now, you can't get to loving without a lot of hard work, and the love that changes our lives is that serious loving, that commitment to each other. The person with least options is the one who really demands our special care. They're the heart, and that's why our hearts get enlarged, because they connect with somebody who's really doing it tough and who is quite lost, doesn't get much of a go in our society.
When I came here and Sister Anne said Cana is primarily about hospitality and community, not necessarily shelter. So that was her big thing that we had to do. And I'm thinking, how do you do it? All the men put their own mattresses out on the floor themselves and made their own beds. And by making your own bed, they're claiming ownership of their space, so it becomes home. And I think some of the guys do consider it home.
Come out here and see people did really care, and it was, if you're having a bad day, if you came from the jail and had a bad day, it was like someone would always pull you aside and talk to you and ask you what's wrong, and to never have that in your life before, it was quite interesting to start with. Getting off the drugs is the easy part. It's living the rest of your life without it, and that's the struggle.
You know, for people with addiction, like we listened to a couple of stories, particularly from Josh, and at 11 he was starting an addiction, and I haven't got that sort of struggle, but we all have our struggle. So I have my little dying and rising and needing to get the courage to start again, and the sharing of that and the knowing that I meet God in the highs and lows of the people whose life is very different from mine.
Cana's 40-year history would be nothing without the extraordinary contribution that she's made over 30-something years. She is a formidable individual, and that's why we've got 711 volunteers at last count and no paid employees.
We can just share our lives in some way, then our hearts expand. So the heart is really heart meeting heart, and lots of hearts together make a very warm place.